Good morning! Hey y'all, my name is Kayla and welcome to my cozy catty corner of the internet. In today's video, well, first and foremost, if you clicked on this video, you already know what's going down. If you were thrown in this video against your own free will, hi, hello, welcome. Today we are doing a 24-hour reading vlog. I am so excited, y'all. I actually really loved the last time we did a 24-hour reading vlog. Is this something I want to do every single day or once a month or every week? No, but it is fun to like drop them here and there. There's something very nostalgic feeling about staying up all night reading books because it's something I used to do a lot as a youth. Just doing it last time, it just gave me that nostalgic feel of just staying up and plowing through books. I'm hoping we have the same wonderful experience today. I will note it has been so hot out lately. Oh my god. So I don't know if like the heat is gonna be like a factor that's gonna make this miserable or not, but we're gonna try and keep things light, upbeat. It is supposed to be raining all day today, so fingers crossed it keeps it cool. The goal for this 24-hour reading vlog is to start at 7 o'clock in the morning and then just go all the way until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's sneak into the bedroom. My partner is currently sleeping and pick out some books. This might be a little crazy because I don't actually get to look at my full bookshelf. We're gonna be using a flashlight. But yeah, we'll see what we find. Let's talk about the books that we have selected. Now, this is just a stack of books. Are these the books I'm gonna read? Potentially. Will I grab something else off my shelves? Potentially. They just like caught my eye. In my search of a dark bedroom, they caught my eye. The Good People by Hannah Kent. This is, I'm not gonna lie, not 100% sure. I got this at a library sale, so it was like probably $1 tops. It all begins with rumors, stories of unexplained misfortunes. Nora, mourning the deaths of her husband and daughter, knows the whispers are about her grandson. 4-year-old Michael can no longer speak or walk, and people are saying that he is a changeling bringing bad luck to the valley. In desperation, Nora begs the help of 2 others, Mary and Nance. Together, the women will do anything to cure the little boy. But as their world of folklore and ritual tightens around them, it threatens to blur the line between mercy and murder. Done and Dusted by Lyla Sage. I thought it would be fun just to have like a quick little romance. Rainbow Black. This is based in New Hampshire, where a woman's mother and father were accused of being in a satanic cult, and many moons later, she is pulled back into that horror story. Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. Thomas had no idea that Andrew would do anything for him. Protect him, lie for him, kill for him. A love song, a death rattle, a battle cry. This is a book of poetry. It's pretty actually hefty book of poetry. You see these pages. It's not just like quick little easy poems in here. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I don't 100% know what this book is about. I know it's about a girl who I think like her dad was accused of killing someone, went to jail for killing someone. And now, like, later in her years, she's being accused of killing. I don't know. But my girlfriend keeps telling me that this book is amazing and I need to read it. So, read it we shall. And then we have The Dangerous Ones by Lauren Blackwood. This is about vampires in the Civil War. Need I say more? That is my stack currently. It might change. It might fluctuate. We're currently in the middle of, today's the first day of Summerween, actually. And also in the middle of Sunrise on the Readathon. And I've been reading a lot of manga for Sunrise on the Readathon. So I might honestly continue on with Ceres Celestial Legend and try and knock that out today. And then also, I love how I just gave you like this whole stack of books and now I'm like, but just kidding, we're reading only manga today. Those are the books that I may or may not be reading today. Okay, y'all, so I decided to start The Good People by Hannah Kent. Everything about like the synopsis made it seem like a thriller, and while I think eventually it'll get to like that thriller level, it's reading more literary fiction, and I just always have to be like in a mood for that style of writing. So I don't think this is the vibe for today. I do think I want to read this book, just not today. Yesterday I started The Paris Apartment. I don't know if that's the vibe. I have just been having the worst of luck with thrillers lately. Like none of them are hitting the right spot. So I think maybe we aren't even gonna do thrillers. Maybe I'll spend the morning reading Ceres. Okay, y'all, so I just finished volume 11 and 12 of the Ceres Celestial Legends series, and I realized I didn't tell you guys what this series is about. It is an older series. I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s is when it came out. Let me just check real quick. Volume 11 was 1997. I read this series back when I was probably like 13, 14. That's why I feel like I need to give a little bit of an explanation, because it is like an older series and I'm not sure, A, if you guys read manga, and B, if you guys even know about Ceres. So let's hop into it. Ceres is about a young girl named Aya, and on her 16th birthday, her family holds a ritual to see if the celestial maiden that is in their lineage has developed inside Aya. In the ritual ceremony, whatever, Ceres comes out, and Ceres is the celestial maiden who is in Aya Mikage's lineage. However, the family, the Mikages, they don't love that. They are like, no. We need to get rid of the celestial maidens. So pretty much any woman who is born into the Mikage family on their 16th birthday, they have this ritual. And if the celestial maiden presents itself in her, they kill her. So Aya, they try killing her, but she escapes. She gets away. And the first few volumes of Ceres Celestial Legend are pretty much just her escaping the Mikage family because they're trying to kill her. However, it eventually turns into a very interesting plotline where one of the younger Mikages, Aya's cousin, he is like, we could use the Celestial Maiden lineage to our advantage. And what he is now trying to do is capture Aya and Ceres so that he can make like the ultimate superhumans out of Celestial Maiden genomes. It's pretty interesting, pretty wild. This for me is more of like a nostalgia read. I don't necessarily know if I would pick it up nowadays. Well, no, I probably would. But it's definitely a nostalgia read because, again, I did read this whole series back when I was like 13, 14. However, it's kind of fun rereading it because most of this I had completely forgotten. I'd say like volume 1 to volume 3 is where I was like, yeah, I've totally read all this before. Everything past that, I'm like, I don't remember any of this stuff happening. So we are about to hop into volume 13 and I am going to make a dirty soda. I don't know if you guys have been seeing these dirty sodas online, but I actually heard of dirty sodas because in the creamer section, there's a brand, I can't remember the brand, but it's like, make a dirty soda, mix this with Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, oh, that's a concept. But then I was like, wait, but that might actually slap because like who doesn't love a root beer float or like a sherbet float or like any sort of float? And I'm like, it's the same concept. It's just instead of using a frozen cream, you're using regular cream. So we're gonna make one. It consists of Dr. Pepper, coconut creamer, and the recipe I have calls for blackberry syrup. I don't have that, but I do have some maraschino cherries, so I think I'm going to use the cherry syrup from that, mix it all together, and we'll see if it's any good. I did make one yesterday and it was Diet Coke with the coconut creamer and lime. I think I put too much lime in it. Like it was all right, but I think if I had done, it said to use half lime. I think if I did like a quarter of lime, it would have been good. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna make that and then we're gonna continue on with Ceres. I literally have 2 volumes left and then we're done. And then I think after this, we're gonna hop into Done and Dusted. You guys ever find just bookmarks in your books? Especially books that you don't read. Sometimes I'll just like, if I have a bookmark, I'll throw it in a book and be like, well, I'll find that later down the road. This is so good. Oh my god. I probably would do like a scotch less creamer. Just a little bit. Okay, I just topped it with like a little more Dr. Pepper. Just try and mix this up. Oh yeah. Now you're getting a little more Dr. Pepper. Before, you weren't really getting much Dr. Pepper. It mostly was just like cherry, like the cherry syrup and the creamer. But now you're getting just a little bit more Dr. Pepper in there. Also, the recipe called for a full glass of ice. I don't think I would do that in the future. Just saying. Do I like ice? Yes, but usually I do like a half, maybe a third of ice typically because I want more drink than ice. All right. I just finished Ceres Celestial Legend. Last volume. I'm not gonna lie, there was like a good chunk in like the middle of the series where I was like, okay, I'm just reading it so I'm not like completely lost, but they were all big time in the threes. That last volume though, oh my god. I definitely was crying, especially towards the end. Like that last volume is probably a 5-star. Anyways, I originally said I was gonna do Done and Dusted, but I don't know. It's not really calling to me. But then again, nothing on my bookshelves is really like calling to me right now. Actually, that's a lie. There's like a little chunk that I'm staring at right now that is kind of calling to me, but that's for another video. And then the other book is also calling to me, but that's for another video. All the books that are calling to me are ones that I already have planned videos for. I do kind of want something like easy, fun, light, easy book. But I don't have a lot of those because I'm a big thriller reader. So if you know of any fun, light, breezy books that I should add to my collection, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, what to read? You know, it could be fun. So if you don't know, I loved the first book of the Inheritance Game series. Unfortunately, the second book was kind of mid to me, and then the third book I DNF'd. But this book is about Jameson and Grayson. And honestly, Jameson's my favorite character, and Grayson was all right. So we could read this, or you know what? We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this, and then also Done and Dusted. Put it on a little spinner wheel, and may the odds be ever in my favor. Okay, here is my wheel of truth. Let's see what we're gonna get today. Just click spin. Do I have a preference? Okay. Guess we're reading Lights Out. Okay. My like office space is a mess right now. It may not look messy, but there's just a lot of like little things here and there that are driving me absolutely bonkers. So I fear this is probably not an audiobook I'll want to listen to, at least not for very long. And if you don't know what Lights Out is about, it is a dark romance like you've never seen before. Can you handle the ride? I want someone with a soul as black as night, someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. Trauma nurse Allie Capalucci doesn't need any more kinks. She likes the ones she's landed on just fine. To her, nothing could top the masked men she follows online. She fantasizes about one man in particular hunting her down, but she never could have guessed that one drunken text could make those dreams into reality.
I want things most people don't. Craving darkness and depravity instead of light and love.
Josh Hammond has spent his life avoiding the limelight, but his online persona is another story. At night, he posts mass thirst traps for his millions of fans, but one follower has caught his eye. Allie. Together, Allie and Josh live out their darkest fantasies, unaware that Allie has captured the attention of someone with far more sinister intentions. As Josh turns from predator to protector, he must ask himself how far he'll go for the woman he's obsessed with. And I don't know about you guys, but 9 times out of 10, romance novels in general, but specifically dark romance smutty novels, have like the worst audiobooks. Like it's overkill. I don't need to hear you ooming and moaning and licking your lips, and I don't need to hear all that. Just say the lines, okay? But I'm gonna try and find the audiobook for this and listen to that at least for a little bit because I do want to get this area cleaned up. And I can't really do that and read a physical book at the same time.
Zando Audio presents Lights Out. Written by Navessa Allen. Performed in duet by Elena Wolf
and Jacob Morgan. Lights Out is a fast-paced, dark stalker romance with a morally gray male lead. Some themes and scenes may be disturbing.
Listener discretion is advised.
Thank little Lord baby Jesus that this is a duet book, because I cannot stand when women do men's voices and men do women's voices, because 9 out of 10 it just like completely pulls you out of it. However, I think that it's just going to be each narrator per their POV chapter. But in an ideal amazing world, the man would just do all male dialogue and the woman would do all female dialogue in a perfect amazing ideal world, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. Y'all, I was sitting here thinking, I haven't checked in with you guys in a minute. And then I was like, oh my gosh, the day's almost over. And then I was like, it's only 6:30. We still have like 12 hours to go. I'm about halfway through Lights Out. And why is this a good book? Like, actually a good book. Like, it is what you expect. It's a dark, smutty romance, but it's funny. It's like dark comedy. The amount of times I've chuckled at so many phrases in this book, so many lines, so many sequences of events. I'm just like, why am I having such a good time with this? I thought I was going to be sitting here rolling my eyes, being like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. There are some ridiculous parts. Like, the one ick I've gotten so far from this book is there was a sequence of smutty events and Josh, he was calling Allie baby. No. He calls her baby and I just can't. I can't handle that. But other than that, this has been a wonderful romp of a time. I've really been enjoying it. I will also note the audiobook, so good so far. So I was really actually concerned about this audiobook because I just like, there's some romance or smutty books where you're just like, no, it's too much. This, perfect. Also, I'm so happy because any male dialogue, our male actor does it. Any female dialogue, our female actor does it. Oh my god, it's making me so happy. However, we just got to a part in the book where the bad guy comes into play. Because remember, Josh was playing Predator with Allie, and then he's going to become Protector. We got that in the synopsis. So our bad guy just made his debut. The male voice actor isn't adding enough difference to his voice for the bad guy. So it sounds very similar to Josh. And so it's just like, sometimes my brain glitches and I'm like, oh, why is Allie so freaked out by Josh? And I'm like, that's right, it's not Josh, it's the bad guy. But yeah, it actually has like a good plot and storyline and like good character development. As long as you're okay with some raunchy smut and like dark romance and dark humor, this might be the book for you. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I literally got this thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be cheesy. Like, I just love good cheesy romance because I feel like you can just fly through them and you're like, yeah, that was a time. That was a time. I am shocked how much fun I'm having with this book. And I feel like it's gonna get pretty good once we introduce... So at this point, Allie knows who Josh is, okay? Like, she's like, I've clocked you. You may think you're duping me. You may think that I think you're still this masked figure, but I know who you are. So she knows who he is, but and he knows she knows, but they haven't actually like interacted as themselves with each other yet. So I'm excited for when they actually interact as themselves with each other. And I'm also excited for like the thriller suspense element of this new bad guy we've been introduced to, because he is not a good person at all. Terrible person. Scum of the earth type person. I just watched that clip back. Can you tell I've been wearing over-the-ear headphones all day because my hair was looking wild. I am actually gonna switch to these dudes because the headphones were starting to give me a headache, but I still want to keep listening to this audiobook, and my partner can't know what I'm listening to. That's not true. If he asked me what I was listening to, I'd let him know. But he's been playing like video games and stuff and watching movies at a slightly louder volume. So I don't want to be competing for audio space. And I just want to enjoy my book by myself, you know? What is this book, Jinx? We're getting to that point in the book where I have a little bit left. And it's like, what else could happen? What else could possibly happen in this book? I don't know. Do you know? Like, I feel like we got to the point where the plot actually started getting interesting and it wasn't just about them boinking. And now that like the plot has gotten interesting, I'm just like, okay, I don't care about you guys boning each other anymore. So I literally like just stopped reading at this section where like all the cards are on the table. She knows everything about him. He knows everything about her. All the good, the bad, the ugly. And like we just had a plot element where I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. Let's move forward with this plot. Like what's gonna happen with it? I'm so confused. I'm so intrigued. I'm interested. Let's keep it rolling. And now they're just like having some bedtime and like I don't really care about that anymore. Like it's happened so much throughout the book that now that we're getting towards the end and the plot is actually picking up, I don't care that you guys are having sex. Like it was all fun and games at the beginning, but now I'm just like, okay, now let's just move on with the rest of the story. But I have a hunch we're gonna have one last huzzah and maybe like a little one later on. I don't know, but I am taking a little break. I think like maybe like a 30-minute break, just because I don't know if you guys know this, but just reading continuously is a lot. And I've pretty much been reading continuously, maybe like 5-10 minute breaks here and there, but I plowed through all of Ceres. And as soon as we finished Ceres, we started Lights Out. I don't know what book I'm going to start after this though, because this honestly is taking longer than I thought it would. We'll see. I do want to finish another book though. That's my problem. I don't want to like start a book and then not finish it for y'all. We'll figure it out later once I finish this, because I'm not even done with this. I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to read next because I'm not even done with this yet. This is typical business. Oh, yeah, baby. Because starting to get really sleepy. There was a second there where I was starting to get I was like literally just doing that. My head was like, oh, it's bedtime now. It is currently 11:49. That's it. It feels, I thought it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, y'all. I'm so tired. Finished Lights Out. I was having such a good time until I would say there was a chapter that I like completely skipped because it was literally them just like playing out some sex scene. Like it literally, the entire chapter was them just having sex, and I was like, I'm so good. I'm so good. Not every book needs an epilogue, y'all. This book had an epilogue where I was just like, we don't need this. We don't need this. It was literally like the most dangerous game plus a proposal. Oops, spoilers. This is the thing with like most books, is that most books the last chapter is like perfect and it has like the perfect ending, and then you like write an epilogue because you want to squeeze in some like final details, and it's like, we didn't need that. We didn't need that. Anyways, I did end up rating it a 4.5 because literally aside from the epilogue and then the fact that I was just kind of over them having sex, so I skipped a chapter, it was a good book. I had a great time. I laughed so much. I need to know if you guys read this book, if you laughed as much as I did, because I was hooting and hollering the entire book. But yeah, we're wrapping up this video with Done and Dusted, unless I DNF it, which is highly unlikely. First and foremost, look at this cutesy little baby. I love it. Still debating what to name him, but we're here to talk about Done and Dusted. And I think we're like 40% of the way into the book already. That's only been an hour, so we're flying through this thing. A part of me is like, okay, just finish this book and start something else. I just can't get over how cute he is. Like, have a little binkies and a little echo. I might have to do that, actually. That might happen, y'all. This is like such a cute book, by the way. Also, I realized I didn't tell you guys what this book is about. For the first time in her life, Clementine, Emmy Ryder, has no idea what she's doing. She's accomplished everything on her to-do list. She left her small hometown of Meadowlark, Wyoming, went to college, and made a career for herself by doing her favorite thing, riding horses. But after an accident makes it impossible for her to get back into the saddle, she has no choice but to return to the hometown she always wanted to escape. Luke Brooks is Meadowlark's most notorious bad boy. Bar owner and bachelor, he's also the unofficial fifth member of the Ryder family as Emmy's older brother's best friend. Luke spent most of his childhood antagonizing her. It's been years since he's seen her, but when she walks into his bar and back into his life, he can't take his eyes off her. Against his better judgment, he wants to do a whole lot more than just look at her. Emmy's got too much on her mind to think about romance, and Luke knows he should stay away from his best friend's younger sister. But what if Luke is just what Emmy needs to get her spark back? Or will they both go up in flames? Also, that last little paragraph it's so not true. Emmy's got too much on her mind to think about romance. Literally, this entire section, she's been eyeballing Luke. Okay? The entire time. Also, I feel like this cover is wholly inaccurate. This dude right here, way too uptight looking for Luke. Luke is notoriously known for wearing cut-off t-shirts and a baseball hat. Does this man look like he wears cut-off t-shirts and a baseball hat? No. And the reason I point that out is because one of the other books, it literally has like, the characters look like the characters. They're all tatted up and not looking like cowpokes, okay? 2 minutes till 2. And the sleepy sleeps, the drowsy eyes have hit me. They're hitting me hard. I was doing pretty well after making that little Lego. That actually woke me up a lot. But I think I'm going to take a nap. I think that's what we're going to do. I really want to continue on with this book, but I'm also starting to doze off. So I'm going to take a nap. It's almost 2. And then I'm going to wake up at 3. Potentially. Hopefully. Maybe. Last time I took a nap, in the last reading 24-hour reading, I took a nap, and then my nap ended up being, I mean, it was still like short, all things considered. It wasn't a full night of sleep, but yeah, it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna take a nap, an hour nap, and see if we wake up. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hi. I overslept. It's currently 4:47. I woke up feeling, how to explain it? If you're of age and you have ever consumed alcohol and you wake up in the middle of the night, and this is for like weird instances where you have like a good buzz going all night and you don't wake up with a hangover. Like you wake up feeling pretty good actually, but like during the middle of the night, you wake up before you're fully awake and you feel so shitty. That's how I woke up this morning. Or just now, I should say. I'm like, oh, I feel drunk. And then I literally had to think to myself, I'm like, did I drink anything yesterday? I did. I had a grapefruit high noon, but that was so early in the day. I had that with my lunch. I'm not gonna lie. I had intention to sleep in even longer than 4:45. I woke up around 2:45 and I was like, I am tired. I was sleeping out here and I was like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go crawl into bed where I know it's gonna be more comfortable. I fear it was not. Mostly because my partner had taken up most of the bed since I wasn't sleeping in it. And then what part he wasn't taking up, Jinx was taking up the rest. And surprisingly, my partner was the one to like gradually shift over once, I think, I didn't wake him up or anything. I just like squirmed into bed. He just like naturally knew I was there all of a sudden. So he eventually found his way back to his bed. However, Jinx did not want to give me any leg room. So I was like, it was the weirdest fetal position ever. And here we are. Also, I had a neighbor out on their patio all night, hooting and hollering. It wasn't like hooting and hollering though. They were just talking really loudly. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like that's why I woke up to around 2:30. And then here's the fun part. I just opened the windows and stuff because I was like, oh, there's a nice little chill breeze coming through. Echo and I stepped out on our porch and the person was still going at it. I think they were on their phone talking. I know who the person is because they like to talk really loudly on their phone a lot. Not a lot actually. It's been quite some time, but I've never heard them like throughout the night hooting and hollering on their phone. Anyways, done and dusted. Let's finish it. The sun is starting to rise. You can see like the beginning of the sunrise. I'm probably gonna go drink my electrolytes because I think I'm dehydrated. And we're gonna go sit on the porch with Echo and hopefully finish done and dusted. Oh my god, y'all. First and foremost, my neighbor still hooting and hollering. 99.9% sure that they're drunk. So love that for them. I say that because typically when they're out on their porch, they're just like talking loudly, okay? Like it's obvious that they're just talking loudly, but this is like just a random outburst of like shouting. Love that. I'm sure they'll give up eventually. It's literally been 3 hours at this point. Oh my god though, y'all. The cutest thing just happened in this book and I started crying over one little line. I didn't cry for long, but I did cry, and it was so sweet. I'm gonna read it to you. No context, just this line. Everything ends, Emmy. Whether you choose to keep racing or not, I do want you to know that I would love to see you ride one last time in the town that built us. I'm gonna start crying again. Oh my god. I'm not even halfway through this book yet, and it's already 5:30. What time is it? 5:28. So. A sweet slow burn, sunshine in written form. This is not a slow burn. It's either not a slow burn, I can't talk apparently, or I don't know what a slow burn is. Emmy and Luke have been hanging out for 2 weeks now, okay? Just like as friends. He's helping her get back into the groove of writing. And they just had a very steamy encounter. 2 weeks. I don't know, to me that's not really slow burn. Like when I think slow burn, I think like either it's been a long time in the actual timeline of the story, or like we're getting stuff this far in. You know, you've read this much and now something is happening. That's what I think when I think slow burn. This is just like a normal paced book. Like this is a normal paced romance book where you've gotten to know the characters, a little bit of their backstory, kind of what's going on, and then things start occurring. And there's gonna be a third act breakup in this. I can just like feel it in my bones. This is the type of book that's gonna use a third act breakup, which Lights Out did not ever have a third act breakup. So high fives all around for that book. But yeah, there's gonna be something's gonna happen. She's gonna get back into racing and she's like gonna be like, just kidding, still want to do this. Peace out, Wyoming. I'm heading back to Colorado. Or Luke is Emmy's brother's best friend. And so something's gonna happen there where he's like, no, you can't date each other. Ugh, gross. Or, I'm trying to think what else. She finds out something about his promiscuous ways. Because remember, he's the bad boy bartender or bar owner. And he's been known to be a little bit of a ladies' man. I don't know. But I foresee a third act breakup occurring. And honestly, slow burn shouldn't have a third act breakup. Because if you're taking so long for them to like finally get together, have like smutty raunchy books ruined what people consider slow burn? Because I'm just so confused at why people are calling this book a slow burn. I would say this is just a regularly paced romance novel. I'm so confused. Hello, we're checking in. It is currently 8:25 and I have this much left of done and dusted. I don't know what I was thinking. This had some raunchy, smutty good times in it. However, I hated it. I hated it because Luke, instead of saying baby all the time, he says sugar. Like literally every sentence he had when they were doing the horizontal tangle, he was all like blah 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 blah, sugar, sugar, sugar. He also said baby a couple times, and I'm just like, oh my god. Why? You know you can say something. You can just say something and not have to put like a pet name at the end of the sentence. Ew. Wasn't a fan of that. I'm just intrigued to see where this book goes because it was a slow burn. I mean, I'm not mad. Here's the thing. I'm not mad at it not technically being a slow burn. but also what is up with the deceptive marketing? Don't put your top quote on the cover saying that it's a sweet slow burn. Lana Ferguson, this is not a slow burn. What books are you reading? I would say literally this is a average pace book, like an average pace romance novel. Unless all you're reading is straight up smut, then yeah, I could see this being a slow burn. But if you just read romance novels, this is not a slow burn in any capacity. Not in the pacing of the book, not in the timeline of the story. Also, it's officially been over 24 hours, but I am determined to finish this book for y'all. I am determined. Did you see that? Did you see that? 10:03. I'm tired.
The next day.
Yesterday was a doozy. Oh my goodness. As you saw in the clip, not only was I tired, like if I was tired, I could easily have just like plowed through it and been like a human being, but I felt like trash because when I first did a 24-hour reading challenge, it was in the cooler months, so the temperature was cooler. And I felt fine. Like, yeah, I was tired the next morning, but I didn't feel like utter and complete trash. Anyways, I just want to do like a wrap up of everything that we read during the 24-hour reading challenge. We're going to start with the one book we DNF'd, The Good People by Hannah Kent. I truly was actually really excited about this book because it was more thriller. It had this weird potential fae element going in with it, with the changeling child, and I was just intrigued. I was very curious, but the writing style is so literary fiction and so historical fiction, which I have to be like mentally checked in for. It wasn't the reading experience that I was looking for during the 24 hours. The more I think on this, the more I'm not even sure if I want to continue reading it, because like the whole book is gonna be like that. And I've read literary fiction, mysteries, and thrillers in the past, and they just don't have that same suspenseful itch that I look for. Like, do they have a mystery or thriller or suspenseful element to them? Sure, but I feel like it just doesn't hit the same way that like the genre of thriller or mystery does for me. Does that make sense? DNF The Good People, not sure if I'll return to it. The first set of books that we read and finished were the Ceres Celestial Legend series, volume 11 through 14. As I noted the other day, like these three, I would say actually these two in particular were just kind of like background filler story. Then we got to volume 13, pretty good. I think I gave this one a 4.5. And then this one, the last volume of Ceres Celestial Legends. It was so good. You know it's good when I'm like audibly interacting with the book. I was like, oh my God, no way. What the, trying to like solve or answer the situation at hand. And I'm just, it was so good. And I'm actually so sad that the series is over because the way it ends, like Watase set up to have the potential of a series later down the road. And I would have loved to see Yui. Yes, Yui. I loved Yui. He was like, so in this book, or in this series, there's a little love triangle going on where there's the obvious romance connection, Edward Cullen. And then there's the best friend, Jacob Black. Yui is the Jacob Black in this situation. Try as he may, he's just been friend zoned this entire time. And I would love, I don't know. Not that I want him to get his Renesmee, but I would love to just see him have some, And then there was this one girl introduced, Chidori, and like they could have been a thing. That would have been so cute. But alas. Next, we have Lights Out by Navessa Allen. Why did I love this book so much? However, I will say, once we got to a certain point, like having full chapters of sex scenes, I was like, okay, we get it. Like, we've had so many smut scenes, I don't need another. And then the epilogue. But I still really enjoyed it. I think I rated this a 4.5. I think. This is such a disappointment, y'all. I was so excited to read this book. Why? Here's the thing. I went into this book thinking it was going to be a sweet, slow burn romance. I was not expecting... And also, hold on, wait. Going into this book thinking it's a sweet, slow burn romance, minimal to no smut. Let's just say, once they got to Boinkin, it was happening all the time. To the point where, like, we completely forgot the plot. Like, we ignored the whole plot. I think there was 3 straight chapters of them boinking, and I'm like, oh my god, we barely have any of the book left. When are we going to get back to the fact that Emmy had a terrible accident and is now scared to ride? And, like, she's building up to be in this competition. Like, when are we going to get back to that? And then it was really annoying because once we got, spoilers by the way, once we got to the event that she was going to compete in, her best friend Teddy, who's been there by her side the whole time, but had no idea that she got in a terrible accident, she's like, why are you so nervous? What, like, you can do this, you got this. And Emmy just, like, word vomits on her that I got in an accident, it's the worst thing. I was like, I wish that would have been like a more sweet moment, because there was this really sweet moment actually where they were celebrating Teddy's birthday and they could have taken some time from that for her to be like, I have to tell you something. But they didn't. They just had her like word vomit it at the actual event. And then also, I just felt like we had so much real estate of this book dedicated to them boinking, where there was actual no development of the characters or the storyline. And I was really actually disappointed in this. But with that noted, I do want to read the other ones now knowing that they're spicy, assuming that they're all going to be spicy, because at least for me, like, I have to go in a book with the expectation that it's going to have smut, because if all of a sudden I'm expecting a slow burn romance, get this off the friggin' cover. Get that off the cover. If I'm going into a book expecting a slow burn romance, I'm expecting, again, minimal to no smut. I'm expecting for their first physical interaction to be way farther in the book than the halfway point. I'm expecting there to be like sexual tension and sexual chemistry, but like not for them to actually act on it, and for it to take longer, and then for maybe him to take her out on a date instead of them just going straight to the physical. To me, this is a standard romance in the pacing. And I would say, honestly, if you're on a scale of like 0 to 5 chili peppers, I would put this probably a 3, maybe even a 4. Once the sex was injected into the book, it was in the book. Like, it was there to stay. It was not leaving. There was a lot going on, and it was very descriptively told to you. So yeah, I would just say if you're going to be reading Done and Dusted, go into it knowing that it's going to be spicy and that this is not a slow burn. I ended up rating this at 3.5. Anyways, y'all, I actually feel really great today. I think I took like an hour nap halfway through yesterday. Then I went to bed. I got like a full night of sleep. And yeah, I woke up and I actually felt amazing today. So just thought I'd give you guys that final update on the fact that I was feeling like trash yesterday morning. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me during this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below, have you read this book or this book? The fact that I love this book and I felt about this book is kind of wild, but it's because I went into this book expecting it to be a dark, smutty, spicy romance. I went in this book thinking it was going to be a cute, sweet, slow burn romance. So let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions about books that present themselves as slow burns, but they aren't. I will see you guys in the next video.